Should be able to see it now. Let's see. Let me know if you see it before I do.
Oh, I think I just got the notification. Yeah, oh, here we are. There we are.
You got it? Okay. I still don't see it. There we go. I see it now.
So
That wasn't it.
it's like we go to the YouTube link just to watch it, right? That's
Yeah, to watch it live. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the one I had sent it to you in on the IG in the DM.
Mm-hmm.
That's that one.
Yeah. No, we usually just share it to our Facebook page as well, Ron.
That's what I was gonna ask. How do I do that?
So if you go to the live.
Nah, you could just yeah, and then just copy. Oh, share, then copy the link, and then once you go to Facebook, you just paste the link. You feel me?
Bubba, why do you trim your beard?
Yeah, man. I do that from time to time. My beard grows back really fast.
It's been a while though.
Yeah. It's been a little while, so I just said, let me do it. And I was going to that what was that I went to? The seersuckers and sundresses party.
Oh yeah.
That
Was that a panty free
that
event?
they throw at Ember.
Was that a panty free event?
I'm sure it was a few of them out there.
That's good. That's as it should be.
I didn't feel too many panties.
Getting physical out there.
See how long it took you.
No, I waiting for my guy to stop coughing.
Hey, look, I can't help it. I don't know why.
I was on that cough away, but
when this weather keep changing, man, my little allergies be acting up.
Bubba's out there making body contact. Full contact brunch, huh?
Yeah. Just say I had a great time.
That's good. That's good, man.
What's my guy? T Gaines. T Gaines is the guy who throws those. You ever been Johnty?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he been doing it for a while.
Yeah, he been doing it for
But
a minute.
I just started going out there maybe like a year or two ago. It was my first time, so he's been doing it for like years. And he does 3 a year. I only do 1.
Why don't you do the other 2?
That's a lot.
It's so much because you want to. The guys going out there like dressing top tier, so it's a lot of, you know what I mean. It's a lot of accessories you need to buy.
A lot of sartorial competition.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean I'm gonna do me. I'm just doing my style. Like I don't go. Some guys, I mean, they going all out.
I mean, they got 3-piece suits.
All that.
No socks.
I don't do that anyway. But I'm gonna come.
I'm not even gonna do that for my funeral. Like fuck all that. Bury me in gym shorts.
Come on, man.
Yeah, just make sure Amazing Grace is there.
They're not gonna let you go down like that, man.
I am going out like that. Watch me.
Watch me. That's gonna be in your will or something.
Yes. I've got very specific instructions for this. I'm ready to go.
We'll see if they know how to take the directions there.
Yeah.
In Holland, I trust.
There you go.
Oh, man, you ever been so mad you beat up a tree, Bubba?
No, I haven't experienced anything that good just yet.
When I was in high school, we were drinking, and 2 events happened at this one party. So one guy inadvertently drank a cup of piss. He thought it was a beer. And it wasn't.
That's horrible.
So it's like somebody had a cup and they were having a good time. They were talking. They didn't want to get up to pee, so he just peed in an empty cup. And somebody thought it was their missing beer.
Oh, that's terrible.
Then another guy.
That's it's time to fight.
Yeah, who's the suspect? I don't know, man. You get DNA test that pee. Then the other one of my good friends, he went through an apparently bad breakup just days before the party, and he was super drunk. And he was outside in the driveway, and he was yelling at a rock, like just cussing out a rock. I'd never been that drunk. I mean, I was drunk enough to crash my mom's car, but I wouldn't find any rocks.
Well, I'll tell you, that's why That's why Plies in the song, he said, let's get white boy wasted. There's a reason for that.
He was white, man. Shout out to Jeff Hoyt, man. Not quite your one shining moment. We are in March.
You guys are back on the Bench Podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. We are available on all, and I do mean all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. All right, we have Johnty Love in the building. What's going on, Johnty?
What's going on, brother?
All right. Johnty, a spoken word poet. All right, is it fair to put all of that in the same sentence there?
Yeah, spoken word poet, it'll work. Spoken word artist, poet, it all go together.
It all go together.
It's all in the same family.
So we're gonna
a little different.
Yeah, so we're gonna be talking about that today, and of course, all trending topics in sports, music, and entertainment here. We're gonna be talking some 2000s rap era. Dating sites are fading out, failing, according to this new study. Okay, and a lot of other good stuff here, man, too. What's interesting is, Johnty hit me like, what was that? This morning. It was like, hey, what we're gonna be talking about? I don't prep a lot of the people, and the reason for that is because a lot of things change over a couple of days. Like I was coming in here. I usually the first thing I do is I talk about a thought that I've been having or something like that, and I was gonna be talking about this tricking thing, and it was on my mind to talk about and all that. And then on the ride here, it changed. So I got the picture on there, and I'm not even gonna talk about it. I'll do that next week.
What changed?
I had a better thought.
Oh,
in my mind, a more engaging conversation piece to start the show off with, because I was thinking about it, and it weighed heavy on my mind. So this is what's going on.
Okay,
you set the bar pretty high with this.
Yeah.
No, it's not high. I mean, it's just higher than tricking. That's all.
It
depends on what you feel about tricking.
Okay, that's what we're talking about.
Don't sleep on tricking.
Nah, I can't.
Keeps you up at night, don't it?
So, good sex, it takes a lot of energy. And I'm thinking about it. I was thinking about it. It's like, I don't want to do what it takes to have that every single time. Like sometimes I just want to,
coast through a couple rounds.
I want to coast, man.
God damn.
Like it takes a lot of work. When you really think about it, it takes a lot of work and energy. Like when you had a good session, you sweating, you tired, but you feel like you did something. Don't get me wrong.
Let's hope you feel that way. I ain't sweating for nothing.
You're feeling accomplished, but at the same time, who wants, to this? There may be some guys, there's gonna be some hero guys out there that's gonna lie and stuff like that. But who really wants to do that every single time? Especially if you and this leads to other things, because if you're in a long relationship, if you're with a woman, you've been with her for a while, like, and this is the person you're with every single day, especially if y'all live together, stuff like that. If you're married, long, relationship, and who wants to put that energy in every single time y'all getting ready to have sex? And then, okay, now you think about that. Then you think about if there is a person on the side, that person is giving the energy every single time. Now you're being cheated out of a experience, or you're being one-upped, if you will, because like say if it's the woman that has a side guy cheating or whatever.
This just took a deep turn.
I know, but it's a lot of thoughts going into my head, right? Because you doing now, okay, you want to do the laser sex and just get straight to it because you don't want to go to Pound Town and have exert all of this energy every single time. And then you got the guy on the side, he's only seeing her every once in a while.
So he's putting it in.
He's
got no excuse.
So he got one up on you.
Yeah.
And it's just.
Well, let's just go deeper there. Like, maybe he's got somebody at the house and he's putting in half a shift for her. So he's fresh for your girl.
And I'm fresh for my side.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't use honey packs at the house, but anytime I'm outside on the road,
you got to use them.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that's where my mind was at.
So we could infer from this that when somebody's not putting forth a good effort, they're saving a good effort for somebody else.
The moral of the story is what you're trying to say.
Red flags that you're being cheated on. If your mate is putting in half a shift,
every time is a little weak.
Sleepwalking through some rounds.
But do you agree though? Like it's tough to put in a full shift every time with somebody that you've been with for a long time.
But it's I mean, it takes two to tango. Like it's, I mean, if you're, you could be ready for a monster performance, but if your partner wants to starfish it out on you, like, what are we gonna do? I mean, you got to go save that performance for somebody else. I mean, that just
got that too.
I mean, that's the thing. Like any of this is men and women. This is relationships. Like, if you're gonna, try to make it work, you got to put in effort, both sides. All 3 holes every session. They at least got to be available. They got to be available.
I mean, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I ain't taking anything off the table. We're leaving things on the table.
I hear you.
So
you want to have it and not need it, and need it and not have it. That's what you're trying to say.
I think I said it. But yeah,
what you think, Johnty?
Okay, so you're gonna probably say I'm one of them lion cats. Listen, like, I enjoy the activity.
Okay.
Like, so if you into it, I'm into it. Like, it makes me more into it. Like, so I enjoy the activity, like for real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I don't want to not have it and I not have it fun. Now, understanding, it's going to be times where you probably ain't going to be able to, like you say, go all out every time, whether it's time or whatever the case may be, or, but I figure if you can, do.
Yeah.
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 I think, I mean, hopefully if you bring the energy, your partner brings that back to you.
Match it, yeah.
That's the thing. You got to set the tone, man.
Yeah.
You got to set the tone, man.
Yeah. Got to be a leader.
You come out lazy, you're going to get lazy back.
I'm a firm believer of no BDRs, man.
Firm believer.
No BDRs?
Yeah.
What is that?
No bad dick reports, man.
If you're going to be a firm believer in anything, that's probably the thing to be.
But that's the thing. Your lady, she's going to know. Like,
That's exactly when that break up. They be like, yeah, and you couldn't fuck anyway. Like, that's you because you was giving out them BDRs because you thought it was going to be okay. As soon as it's over, you get talked about. Nah.
Thought she
but no, you cannot measure anything on that.
Yeah.
Because like when a chick is into you, you are the greatest sex machine that ever existed. The second she's not into you, you are limp dick motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, you can't base it off of that. There's another standard that you have to base it off.
Yeah.
Of, because that's what it is.
Well, I hear y'all. I understand. But sometimes, you got the quickies. It's all different type of stuff involved in this.
You can still bring energy to a quickie, though.
Even a quickie is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do it right.
Yeah, you can still bring.
Yeah, I mean, if you in that
Yeah.
limited time window, you got to make it happen fast.
Yeah.
Sometimes the quickie is the most exciting. Look, we ain't got but 2 minutes. You got to people coming around the corner.
Yeah.
Literally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, Bubba, please, it seemed like a confession on your part. I need you to step up your game.
Yeah.
No, it's not a confession. and plus, it's
It
not.
felt like it.
It's only the differentiator of going all out or not. You know what I mean? Like really bringing the hammer. You understand? Versus just chilling. Like you want it. Like you want to bust, right? But you just don't want to exert all of the energy.
You saying you want to be able to do something else after you finish?
Nah.
Like you want to get up and do laundry and cut the grass, sweat. Like you want to feel like you got activities available. You don't want to need a Gatorade.
I got a lot of clothes to fold.
Got other things to do, man. A bad analogy I thought about too. I'm gonna stand up front. Like for example, Shaq, right? Because you take Shaq and Kobe, right? Like, Kobe would go on these stretches where he would go like, a bunch of games scoring 30 or 40 points in a row. Going all out every single time. But then you got Shaq, like you say, the most dominant guy. Like, he's never averaged 30 points in a season. He's never, had one of those stretches where he scored 30, 40, 50 points a game. But you still know he was fucking dominant. Every once in a while, he'll go and give you 50 or 60. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was a difference because he's down there in the paint banging with guys. It takes a lot. It's a different level of energy he's exerting to get to these 40, 50, 60 points that Kobe's just out here doing.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have to go down there and bang with these, big Megan Thee Stallions and stuff like that, and give you 40, 50, 60 points every night. But I can do it. I'm capable.
But here's my thing: who's more respected among their peers? Checkmate.
Kobe don't have too many BDR reports. Not even in Colorado.
You basically answered your own question.
Credibility matters.
I got you. No, I got you. Shout out to Eb and Berger. Hey, Berg saying he still owe y'all from his birthday. Love the show. Berg, I called him downtown. He let me out, man, of this.
He let you out? Were you in jail?
No, in the garage. In the parking garage.
Okay.
At one time. And really, I was with this chick. And to tell you the truth, I really didn't have it, to be honest with you. And
she already made you spend it?
Yeah. Damn. The life of tricking. All right, listen. We got Johnty Love in the building. And actually, are you hosting this event coming up here? This erotic poetry show?
Yeah.
So you're the host. Are you involved in like creating the show?
So the original creator of the event is Steve-O.
Okay.
And oddly enough, I meet a lot of people I deal with in different avenues. So I used to work with Steve-O. Used to be a supervisor and
like in a
in a professional setting.
Oh yeah.
And after we started working together, he's a real cool guy. We kept in contact, and he started doing a poetry show. So after they had a few shows, he asked me to come out and do one, and then I've been hosting the show ever since.
Oh, okay.
And so we've been going on at least 3 years now, almost 4 years together. Me, him, and DJ Levy 5'6". So
he was on about a month ago.
Yeah. So it's a vibe. It's the dopest poetry show you're gonna see.
Yeah, it's definitely a vibe. I went out to the last one. I went out to the last one. It wasn't It wasn't the erotic show, but this one's gonna be a little.
And look, it's not erotic. Like, it's not always erotic. We do a few of these in a year.
Right.
So when we haven't done one in a while, so listen, the tables is already sold out. You can come to the show. It's general admission. So go ahead, you'll see the link and whatever. You can follow me, and we'll get all that together. But you get your tickets online, and there's more at the door. But yeah.
If it's not erotic, what are the other lanes that the shows occupy?
Oh yeah, I mean the last show I went to, it was all different type of lanes. Yeah. You got guys, it's spoken word poetry. So you got some guys went up there and was talking about like what's the word I'm looking for? Not history, but
empowerment.
Yeah. There you go. Black empowerment. You got some the relationships, dating, but not necessarily
in the erotic
nasty
manner.
Or freaky. Yeah, not necessarily freaky, but relationship dating. But then you did have one guy out there and did go up and do an erotic piece.
Okay.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is like he ain't been out in a while. That was my man D Marsh.
Yeah, D Marsh. There you go.
The funny thing is that he did that just because he knew he wasn't gonna make the next one, so he gave him a little bit.
That's why.
So he was like, "Look, I ain't gonna be here next week."
I was counting him to be there on Saturday. Okay.
Yeah, But listen, the lineup we got for this show, Lord,
what surprised me was y'all had like 2 national touring guys on the last show, and it was just a regular show. It wasn't a regular event.
Man, luckily enough, these artists are good friends of mine at this point. And they showed me love. I try to do the same thing, show them love, support events they got going on, and they do likewise. And, we put on a good show because a lot of the artists that are there most of them are pretty seasoned that perform. And then we do still have some artists who are a little bit newer. And, we have a few spots that we do with those. But most of the people that come to this show, it's like you already have your stage presence together. You already understand how to get on the stage and be in front of a crowd, interact, to be engaging, to really lean into your pieces and really perform. So it makes an amazing show. That's why, like, when you came, like, you get to feel the show and from top to bottom, from start to finish, you can be engaged.
No, that's exactly right. Now, let me see this. In Orlando, Central Florida, period. I love events like this. We just had we had a comedian on Jari, stuff like that, because events like this is the perfect date night, but also, especially at an erotic show, like single guys can come, single women can come, because single guys should come because a lot of the women are going to be there anyway already. They probably rented out 70% of the table.
It's literally about 70% women, 80% women that come to the shows. So if you're looking to try to find somebody, you might have a chance.
Do the women come in packs?
Yeah.
They get their own tables.
Yeah. So they come in packs.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
And, you know, and we have, like I said, it's a mixed crowd. It's gonna be men, women. It's gonna be younger, older. Like literally, this is the best place if you want to feel like you having a good time, like you used to feel like you going to the club and you know you finna just wild out, but you don't have to be in that setting, but you still finna get that same feeling to go home feeling satisfied. That's what we bring to the show.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Do they throw panties up on the stage?
It's happened.
All right.
In the past.
Bobby, ain't nobody want to see your tire draws.
Hey, it was a bad chick went up there last time now.
Have you ever like caught a panty and realized there was like a skid mark in it?
Fortunately not.
Okay.
No.
All right. That's good. That's
I
definitely
don't
good.
know how I would have felt about it.
Probably pretty bad. Maybe a bit disgusted.
A lot of that. A lot of disgusted.
Yeah, throw that one back though.
With all due respect, you keep these, you know.
How long you been doing this?
Man, I started doing the poetry scene probably like around 2009, 2010. That's when I finally got around on the scene in general. And but I wasn't even doing poetry then. I was DJing the show when I first started doing the stuff.
Oh yeah.
With the open mic. And then my man Ambrose and Cello, man Chill, Fleazy. Y'all know him like Eddie Wilson. He does like a lot of plays and stuff.
Yeah.
He was part of the original Dirty Word crew when we first started doing that in Eatonville.
Dirty Word.
Yeah, that was what it used to be called. Dirty
I like
Word.
that. Should have kept that one. I like that one.
Yeah.
So
It was
for you
vibe.
personally, what was it that like felt like you wanted to transition from the DJ and become the performer in that sense?
When it's something I'm interested in, I kind of want like if people are doing it and I find it like intriguing and I kind of want to see if I can do it as well. Like I used to draw. Now I didn't think I drew before, but it was like friends drew and they made some nice looking pictures. I'm like, I can do that. So try drawing, and then eventually was pretty decent at drawing.
Yeah.
And so kind of the thing with the poetry, it kind of felt like I like rap, I like lyricism, I like the bars. I really like hearing what they talking about. So when they got to the poetry scene, it was just a whole different experience. Like I was on the poetry scene for probably like 3-4 years before I even seen Love Jones. So it's not like I saw Love Jones and wanted to get into poetry. It literally was going out to a comedy show they used to do in Eatonville with Jersey, Tight Mike and them. A friend of mine, she had brought me out to the comedy show, and the guy who got me into poetry, he was actually, they used to have somebody open up, and so he opened up for the night. I didn't know he did poetry. Me and him was neighbors. We got cool because he helped me move in. That's how I got cool with the cat. And from there, he told me they were doing poetry, and he used to host events like in Gainesville and things like that. And so he had an opportunity to host the show, and he knew we used to hang out a lot. I used to always have the new music. I used to be on all the new jams. So
Yeah.
he asked me to DJ the show because of that. And that's how I got into it.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. Now, as you're getting good, you're getting like you're getting really good. How do the women like react? Because you're really good with the words, and it don't have to necessarily be yourself, but even the other poets that you see, like how do they react to like when you guys whatever like you go up, you do it, and then after the show or during the show, like is it really like a draw? Like
I mean, like it's like anything you do with any type of entertainment, or if you have any type of attention your way, just like you might be hanging around the popular kids in high school, and just because you hanging around them, you still all right. People gonna still think you somebody, or still feel some type of energy towards you. And then depending on how your poetry and things and what content you're talking about, you're going to get different reactions throughout that night. So if I'm up there doing an erotic poem, then, you might hear people in the crowd, woo, ahs, and making little sounds and all into it or whatever. And it's like, at that point, some people are just going to really not care. They going to be, if they into you, they going to shoot they shot or say whatever. I've literally been out of town with my lady before and took her to a show, and people still come up to me after I did like an erotic piece and making little comments to me while she's sitting right there. Like, it's like, okay. She see you, right? Like,
right.
But and you could do another poem where you're getting deep and talking about something expressive, something emotional, something that was like it could be traumatizing, whatever. And now you got people wanting to talk to you because that touched something for them. It was something relatable. It was something that can give a perspective or make them feel better about something they was going through. So it's so many variations of like why people might want to talk to you. It don't necessarily have to be in just like a sexual way, it could be just in a motivating way and just somebody they felt a connection with you. So that's all good like that.
Yeah. And another thing I noticed as well is like doing spoken word or poetry is similar to like a stand-up comedian or like a rapper that's just starting out or something like that, that's getting on stage in front of people, because at the end of the day, you're trying to express yourself and entertain. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the difference to me is, like, I can enjoy a bad comedian. Like, because if a comedian goes up and it's not funny, sometimes that's still funny. You know what I mean? Like, if they're really bombing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that becomes the joke itself.
It becomes the joke itself.
Yeah.
A rapper going up, even if he's bad, a rapper could change and the next song can go to like a remix or something. At least you'll be familiar with the beat. You know what I mean? If he goes and his original song is bad, the next song, he can switch to a beat that everybody knows and just goes off that. But when a spoken word or a poet is up and they're bad, there's not really much to turn to. It's not you know what I mean? And it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost cringy. It's like you're in the crowd and you're like, damn, this person probably just needs to go sit down. You start to feel bad for them in a little bit. But it depends also on what they're talking about. Because what if they're talking about something that's personal to them, but it's just not good still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's tough.
This is a thing where it's like when it comes to the poetry or spoken word, in a general sense, there's no good or bad poem, right? Mm-hmm. Because in the light of, if you're doing the poem, this is your poem, this is your expression, you have all kind of creativity that you want to put to it. Okay, cool. The difference comes a little bit more when you step on that stage in front of people and you're going to an event, especially when it's an event that somebody's like, you're performing in front of people. Certain venues, certain events are going to make you feel a little bit more comfortable. It doesn't really matter how your stage presence is. It doesn't really matter what your delivery is like. It doesn't matter if you stumble. It doesn't really matter. Some platforms, it's like you don't want your favorite rapper to get up there and stumble over all their words. Right. You'll feel some type of way. You spent this money on your ticket and your favorite rapper is drunk on stage.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that sense. In some areas, you want to try to make sure that you're prepared for the environment you're putting yourself in when you're performing. So you're going to feel like, you might want to hear something like, if you're a lyricist or like a person who likes rappers, you want to hear a person who raps. You might not like mumble rap. Mumble rap is dope to somebody else.
Yeah.
But for somebody else, it'll be like, man, I hate this. And so that's how you got your variations of how you have your artists and performers. But if you can try to hear whatever they're saying, and see what the content may be about, you might get past some of the delivery if you don't feel it's up to par.
Yeah. For me, like when I just taking in entertainment like live, it really goes to two categories for me. I'm either blown away, like, damn, that's really good, or I just start analyzing it, like without really thinking. Like it's just like, yeah, this person, if they did this better, if they did that, and I just start analyzing, and I'm almost entertaining myself with my own analytical thoughts over that. I was at a charity gala on Saturday night, and they had like a little band playing, and I was just amused by like their song selections and the way that they would like mix stuff up. And it was, in some ways it was horrific. Like if you're actually planning to entertain, you would never do it this way. But the fact that they were doing it that way became something to analyze and like kind of laugh at. And I was just sitting at a table with people and we were just laughing our ass off. Like, I can't believe they did that.
Right.
And I would just do the same thing, whether somebody's doing a poem or rapping, singing or anything. You just watch it. You know?
No, that's true.
It's almost like watching bad basketball.
Yeah.
If you're not like personally invested, where these are my teammates and I want to behead them, like you could just watch it and go, God, this is fucking terrible. Like, look at these people.
You saw that man wide open passing the ball.
I was at the gym today, and there was multiple people did this. There's a lot of extra people in the gym. So, people are shooting, while the game's going on and whatever. But you get a dude who like goes over, kind of like grabs a ball, dribbles out to the 3-point. This is just not in the game, and just throws up like a brick that like literally endangers people, and then like acts like that's cool. Like they have no bad reaction. If I threw up a shot that bad, I would be self-critical. I would want to shoot myself.
Yeah.
Like, how are you so fucking like idiotic that this doesn't bother you?
Yeah.
Confidence is key.
That's not confidence. That's dangerous delusion. Like, these people need to be stopped.
One of the last things on this, you know what's also a tough one is when they have their phone and they're reading, and it's tough because I have awful memory, so I hate to judge the people, but it seems like the pieces and the poets that go up and they just have it in their memory and they're going off of that. It just seems like that flows better. Everything goes better versus when they have the phone and they're reading. Like, yeah, you may not stumble doing that. And then sometimes they stumble more because when you read and you have your phone out, you're reading, and then you try to mix in the stage presence and you're doing it, and then you try to go back and you miss it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, I just feel like you got to find a way, some sort of way to memorize it.
Completely agree.
I'm not saying that I haven't seen some artists be able to read very well, like, and deliver. One of the most amazing poets I've seen read from a phone, rest his soul, Will the Real One. And he, like, this was early on when I came it was into poetry. He came to Orlando. He was from Miami, and he did an erotic poem, and he read it. When I say that was probably the best poem that night, period, in general, still, just because the content and delivery. So even though he's reading, he can still flow in a good way.
Right.
And you got to put some work into your craft. Like the people who got me into poetry, they had me memorize my pieces. Like, you want to memorize your piece so that way you can deliver it. And then once you kind of get more experience, you kind of get understanding how to stage presence. Then you perform it more. You know what lines flow better, so you can change your delivery, your cadence, and everything to make everything flow to get to the emotion you want from that poem. So it just takes a little bit of work getting into it, and then the more experience you get doing it, the easier it gets, I guess.
But think about like what you're saying. Like when somebody steps up in front of the stage or on the stage, and they're already like looking at their phone. Like, psychologically, you're already thinking, "Oh, this guy doesn't know like his own stuff." Like, it's a negative tone from the minute one. Like, somebody comes up with nothing to read, and they just start speaking. You're like, this is off the dome. This is impressive. It feels different.
Yeah.
Just psychologically, just having that phone, that crutch, makes you start to think that this person's not as good as they might, they could be.
Agree. You can definitely get that.
Now, you don't have to comment on whether it was good or bad, but there was a guy on the last show, right? And he wasn't reading. He was so into it. I didn't. The poem was not that good. It wasn't.
But he cared.
But because he was so into it, and then he would get up and he would walk around, around everybody. He was the only person that did that the entire night. And he was just so passionate, so into it. It was great because of his stage presence, his confidence, and just the way he delivered it.
And then also you got to look at the message he was giving too.
It was a good message. It was a good positive message.
And so now, this is the difference of, like, there's so many variations of how you can have your performances, right? Yeah. Some artists, they have a niche of being a little bit more creative in the erotic area. Yeah. So, that peaks. Everybody has a little bit of side to them. They like a little sex, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Let's
that peaks
so.
that. You hope. If you don't, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to associate with you anymore.
You got a lot of pent up tension, and I don't need you to release that on me. So, but then you got other artists who can be more creative when it comes to their wordplay. Like, they hit you with all these different double entendres and things to where you got to understand a lot of words to understand what they're talking about. Yeah. So some of that may go over some people's heads if they put too much together. But that's usually a lot of certain crowds that prefer that, kind of like people who prefer like rappers like Eminem and things because of the way he flips a lot of the stuff in the content, the creativity. And some other people, they're going to want somebody like Gucci. Yeah. They need something a little bit more direct and just whatever. And it's all good. Whatever you like, you like.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I'm with you on that.
But yeah. And so it's just like that. Like that might have not been your cup of tea, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
Somebody else, that was the most amazing thing they ever seen.
Yeah.
So it's like it's gonna be some other people they like something like something that you might have really liked. They were like, that was all right.
Yeah.
So it happens that you ain't gonna please everybody in that crowd. I don't care who you is.
You're right. I feel you on that. That's a good way to bring that back home to that. I do agree with that. I agree with that. All right. Once again, you guys are on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. We're available on all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. We have spoken word poet Johnty Love in the building. All right. Let's get to a couple topics, trending topics here. What do I want to do here? Let's go here because it's old and I just want to get it out of the way. It's old now. But they gave Shannon, man. They gave Unc a lot of flack. They've been giving him a lot of flack too.
I ain't talking about getting out the car.
Did you see that pic when he was going
I
into
saw
Total
the
Wine?
picture. I didn't see video.
Yeah, so he was at Total Wine. He's getting out. He got the bag on his.
Well, they got 18,000 skits for that right now.
I mean, it's a whole heap of them, and basically, they're trying to say that he's gay, all right, and that he has all of these, tendencies. Here go my thing. They've been having a lot of fun with it, and it's been a conversation for like years. And then
about him being gay.
Yeah. Then you had the comedian
Cat Williams.
Not Cat, but the other one that Shannon Sharp got into it with.
Mike Epps,
right? Mike Epps kind of brought it back to the forefront there, and
he did. That's right. On
his
stand-up. I forgot.
Right, exactly on the stand up. And my thing is this, man. I don't think Shannon is gay. All right, especially here because he has so many surgeries. Below the waist surgeries to where
he's got hip replacements, I believe.
Two hip replacements, ACL, and all of that. And so you're gonna look different. But then you got the bag across the shoulder. You got all of this stuff and mannerisms and all of that stuff. I don't think he's gay. But my thing is, even if he was, I wouldn't give a damn. That's my thing. I just wouldn't give a damn. He's still so fucking entertaining.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna watch all the stuff. I mean, if it's gonna be regular schedule for me. So I just don't understand why it's such a huge thing. But I guess because it's funny. I don't know. I'm gonna laugh when I see it.
Yeah, it is weird. I do think like it is kind of funny. It's not obvious. Like okay, like you look at him, he's fit, he's jacked, he's muscular. But then you kind of forget, and some people may have no idea, he's had a lot of surgeries, including replaced hips. So like he has like the hips and lower body of probably like a 70-year-old guy. But like when he's sitting there talking, he's still jacked and looks like he could tear up the gym. And so it's kind of like a weird juxtaposition of how he actually moves around versus what he kind of looks like. Yeah. So I get that. And yeah, the gate. Yeah, at the end of the day, does it really matter? Like no. But yeah, I didn't even know the gay thing was out there until recently. I think I asked you. It was like, was this really a thing? Like I didn't know. Like
I don't know. I think because of the way he reacts to people talking about it, it's like when the way he reacted to Mike Epps, it was like. Didn't he talk about like beating him up or like seeing him like catch me outside type? Yeah. So now
it's like Meek.
It's gonna now feed somebody. Yeah. Oh, well, you getting that mad? You must be.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true.
It's a little different than Meek.
Yeah.
Because Meek is like constantly like every.
Yeah. He can't. Yeah. No. He can't let it go. Yeah. He can't let it go.
Shannon's like, I'm gonna address this here, and then, but he got mad.
At this point, Meek's as gay as Liberace. I mean, come on, man.
What he said earlier today, last night, he said, I'm going to look for my residency in Ghana because they don't know how to treat black men here in America. Everybody's gay. I'm like, come on, man. This is your 150th tweet, man.
No. Just you and Diddy.
This is crazy, man.
That is funny.
Yeah. No, that's for sure. All right. So sometimes we do one of our things here is You So Crazy, where either I'm having a topic and you're going to say whether I'm crazy or not, or some of these people here, which we're going to decide whether these folks are crazy or not, all right? So we have here 3 topics here to discuss. The first one I wanted to talk about is this trending. It's sort of like a text message thread there, okay, between 2 people. And basically, there's this guy and his girl and his friend texted him about the same time. All right. So his homeboy texted him and said, "Okay, hey gang."
This is presumably real.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, "Hey gang, I saw your girl messing with another dude. Gotta cut her off, fam." All right. Then had a little heartbreak emoji. Then his girl texted at the same time. Now, well, like 4 minutes later, his girl texted him, "Babe, your best friend snaking on you. I can sense it. You have to cut him off, my love." You know what I mean?
Mm.
So they're trying to. It's a lot of different angles there. There's some people saying that these two are messing with each other, and they're just trying to get ahead of the next person. And you know, maybe it was an argument to be had. And then, but really, the question is, okay, if you get one of these texts, you know, who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe the friend, or are you going to believe your girlfriend?
It's complicated. I did consider that they're banging each other. She didn't clarify who he's snaking with, and why would okay, what is the snaking that this guy would care about? Because but I don't care who you fuck, Bubba. Like, you know, unless it's somebody that I'm also fucking. Right. Like, I mean, that is what it is. So why is that even a thing that she would bring to his attention?
What you gonna say if I ask what does snaking mean? What is he doing? Like, I need to know where this conversation go after that, because that's gonna detail if you trying to cover something or.
What did she say? What did she say? Like, he's been trying to mess with me. What if that's what she means by that? That's what I took from it.
And it could be. It could be that. Like, you know, it's snaking with you. It's like, what's up with that? So, yeah, if that's it.
Then who are you going to believe?
But then how long he been trying to snake with you that you just telling me?
There's a lot of context. There's a lot of context because, again, like, if you're at, like, a suspicious time with the girl, like, she's kind of acting a little weird, and now this is happening, it's, you know, you're going to probably feel like she's full of shit. You know, if your friend's been acting kind of weird, and you've already kind of had something in your head that, like, what's up with this guy? He ain't behaving right. That's gonna tip it there as well.
Hopefully, you know your girl and you know your friend.
Yeah.
Because at certain points, I think the people you keep close to you kind of know a little bit better. So it's like
you should.
Like, there's a friend that you could probably say something about. Now, again, me and this person may be real good friends, but I know they ain't shit. But that's still my ain't shit friend. I'm not going to cut them off. You know what I'm saying? So you can tell me something about this person, and I'll be like, yeah, they probably did that because I know them.
Yeah.
That don't mean I'm not going to be their friend. I just know how my friend move. Yeah. You know, I got to move a certain way around this friend so that way we can stay friends. Yeah. You know, it might be something like that.
1,000%. I mean, 1,000%.
Yeah.
You got to respect people to be who they are.
And that's why the context is the thing. If you already kind of know that a guy is a certain, you know, your guy friend is a certain way, it's not going to surprise you. What are we getting at here?
I know it sounds bad. It might not bother you as much as that was your friend because you know who your friend is.
Yeah, I understand exactly. Like I had an ex I was with for a while, and one of my homeboys, like, you know, tried to holler at her. At least that's what she told me. Like, hey, you know, and like, you know, and he's been to, like, our house when we stayed together. Like, he's been around, like, you know what I mean? And I believed it, and it didn't bother me because I know that's him.
You know what I would say, though, honestly? I think the timing of the text messages, hers a few minutes after his, that really does, the more I think about it, it makes me feel like the friend is probably accurate, that he saw her doing something shady, she saw him, and kind of goes into defense mode. I've got to be able to try and explain it. That's when I look at the timing of that, that's what kind of reads to me.
Now, you know everybody going to say you sexist or you're biased because you stopped.
They be saying that about him anyway.
No, but this is the thing.
Hey.
Information is hard.
They can call me white and they can call me sexist.
Well, listen,
it might be right on both.
It's hard for people just to accept information. Let's take the scenario and what he's doing. He's just breaking it down based on just the scenario.
Yeah,
the scenario seems suspect. Now, if it was the other way around, if the girl texts first and then your homeboy texts you saying, "Hey, watch your girl, she's snaky," then you might want to ask. You might be trying to figure out, well, why my homeboy text me after her. Like, you trying to cover yourself. Like, it can be the same way both ways. So as long as people can be open to just information, let's see what this leads to. Ask the question you need to ask, get the answers, and then go from there.
No, I completely. You got to ask the questions, but I just feel like everything is like data points and it's context. And so like like the biggest thing is like what behavior, what has your friend been doing lately that led up to this, and then how do they respond to you when you ask the follow-up questions, and the same of the girl, like how's she been acting lately, how does she respond when I question what do you mean, what are you talking about, is it evasive, vague, is it just deflecting? That's going to give you your answer over time. But yeah.
All right. Now on to the next one. Now Nick Saban, he was asked a question about, of course, why did he retire? What led to him retiring? He didn't actually directly give an answer on that, but he did give a lot of context clues as to why, maybe why. One of his comments was that, after the season ended, all the players wanted to know were two things. What assurances do I have that I'm going to play, and how much are you going to pay me? Right, so he really went, and then after that, he started going much more into the NIL deals and how that kind of soured him and it kind of pushed him away from the sport because all of these players now just want to know, how much money you're going to get me. And of course, when you're on the recruiting trail, I mean, you're talking to, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of players, and if they're all asking the same thing.
Yeah, where are we going with this? Yeah, for sure.
Not easy to get them in there. You got to work for this. You got to work for this.
I feel this context is important too. We can't look at this quote and this situation without putting into the context of Georgia has passed Alabama as a program, and Nick's 70 years old. Take out NIL for a minute. Does he have the energy and drive with all of his success to somehow catch and pass Georgia again? Does he have it in him? I've felt probably not.
Right.
Now you're in this NIL environment where, again, those are the questions that people want to know. And for years, prior to open NIL, there was money exchange and so forth. But for years, these big programs sold you bells and whistles and facilities. That was the thing. We've got this locker room and whatever. And how many college football videos do you have in the last 10 years of like guys walking into the new remodeled locker room and shouting and yelling, and I've got an iPad and this, that, and the other thing in my locker? That's what they were selling. Now it's straight cash, homie. Like, that's what matters. I mean, I'm going to leave this locker when I leave the school, but I can take the cash with me or have a damn good time spending it. Yeah. And so that it's a different environment. And, again, you're 70 plus years old. You're recognized as the best college football coach and whatever. You've got all the titles. Why? Why do I need to reinvent myself? Why do I need to change with this game when I could just step back? The legacy's set. It's easier to do that. I don't think you can have Kirby Smart say this. I don't think you can have Mike Norvell or Lincoln Riley or any of those other guys that are on the come up at this moment in their career and building that legacy. They're just going to adapt and move on. Adapt and move on. And play the game that needs to be played. But I think at his stage of his career, I get it. I'm not finding fault with that.
Yeah. So he's not crazy for thinking and feeling that way.
Nah.
Basically. Nah. Yeah, and I don't think so either. I mean, it is a big, he's been so used to doing something for whatever, 30, 40 years. And like you said, Georgia did surpass him. And then you have all of these changes coming to the SEC. He's going to have to deal with that as well. Florida State is going to be over there in a couple of years as well. It's just a lot of changes for a guy that comes from an era where they didn't change at all. They just don't change much at all.
I mean, he set the standard for a long time.
Yeah.
And the way Alabama went about doing things. And, I heard secondhand, they pretty much had their own bagmen in every major city that where recruits were.
Oh, yeah.
That would, whatever. He set a great template and it worked great.
You better believe
and the template had to be adapted. And at 70 years old, he just wasn't necessarily up to do that again.
That is a lot to ask of him. So
it is for sure, for sure.
Now the last one here, I found very interesting with Nelly. Of course, in an interview, he was saying that his era of music was the toughest era in hip hop ever, and
he wasn't all that damn tough.
Lord knows, I trying to tell my nephew that for just years. This was my era I grew up in, and everybody's going to, claim their specific era. and this and that. But I just don't know how anyone could like really disagree, and because the field was so deep and so strong and so deep, but like all the guys were like elite in their own like ways. It's just so crazy. Like for example, what
are we defining as his era? Like what years are we talking?
So
that had to be like what 2001, 2002.
Yeah, and I would say
that country grammar.
I would say like 2000, 2010, like this is 2000.
The 2000 to 2010.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
That's what I would say mainly, and like you say, you still had, to go from the top or whatever, however you want to say it. You still got the up north guys like Jay-Z was still like in his prime. The Nas still in his prime. And then you got the whole Jim Jones and those guys over there.
Dipset.
They're killing it.
They came in hard around that time frame.
50 Cent came towards the end of that era, but still in that era.
Lil Wayne had his insurgence of like his individual
down
when
south,
he got rid of Cash Money, No Limit.
But
back that ass up.
but Jeezy, Gucci, Ludacris. I mean, just all of these guys.
Ja Rule was hitting hard then.
Insane, man. Just insane. But for some reason, it's drawing a lot of, attention and flack.
But you nailed it in the first thing. Like music is. There's usually a part of your life, unless music is your life, that really defines you. And usually it's probably, your teen into early 20 years where music is vitally important to you, defining yourself, your vibe, your energy. And whatever era you're in when you're in that space is going to have a profound psychological impact on you. That's just the way that it is. I mean, the kids that are currently between like 15 to 22 and they're right now, this is their moment. You can't tell them that another moment was better for the most part.
Yeah, I mean,
because connect.
They got to know.
He's trying to compare NBA YoungBoy to Gucci and Jeezy. I'm like, you just can't do that.
My point is this. Here's my point.
They're gonna do it.
But here's my point. You're not actually comparing NBA YoungBoy to Lil Wayne. What you're comparing it to is I'm listening to NBA YoungBoy when I got my first piece of ass. And when I got drunk for the first time, and when this happened, that's what you're competing
about. What
against.
Happened that night? Like, put it like this: I remember I got a homeboy who's a little wild, and in the same night, we almost fought an entire party bus with me and him.
Fought?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can still remember from the club. Young Jock was playing in the club that night. Like all the fun was going on. Like I remember Young Jock, Hurricane Chris, Young Dro. You know what I'm saying? All these things still playing, and I still remember those songs and those hits. At the same time, remember we almost probably would have got our ass whooped.
That's a funny story. But those are C-list artists then. Like those are guys that were doing the small clubs. They would be like A-list guys. Young Dro was
songs was banging everywhere.
Crazy.
And he was snapping.
Was crazy. Like he would be like some of those guys. I understand what you're saying. Your era, and then you attach things with what you did, and I understand that. But there is a level of talent like Young Dro just was born in the wrong era. You understand? It was hard for him because he's on the T.I. label, and that's another name. Like fuck it, how we leave T.I. out? Like he was a monster in that era, and like some of those guys just could not get on because it was just too many fucking A-list guys.
Yeah,
like you put Young Dro in this era, he's going to be a completely different animal.
And the way he slide on the track,
come on, man.
Punchline for punchline, he was like the down south Cassidy.
Yeah, man. A lot of those guys is born in the wrong era. And then you moved it to music, so this analogy wouldn't work as good, right? Because you're saying how music makes you feel a different way. But I don't feel like my era like of basketball was the best. Like I feel like that era of basketball was one of the worst, NBA wise. I'm talking about. It was like one of the worst in my opinion.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like when you compare it to the other eras, you know. But now if you tell me music is different because it's a feeling attached to it. You understand? But
I just think that's
I'm
a
not
part.
possessive over.
I think that's just a part of it because it becomes this. It becomes the soundtrack of what for many people is the best part of their life. You know, and that's why it's hard to convince them otherwise. Now, if somebody's like truly musical or into music and they have a deeper bag of artists that they've listened to and dedicated and they understand it musically, they're going to have a different response. But if you're just talking about an average person, they're going to basically, I need the soundtrack of my prime, and I'm going to take that over everything. That's why I think there's a lot of people that fall into that category. Are they right? I don't think they're right, but that's the psychology of where they're at.
But what about this though? Because a lot of younger people would agree with the fact of R&B was better in the 90s and early 2000s versus what it is now.
Yeah, R&B is different. It was promoted
different
on a different level, and it was more just widely spread, widely appreciated.
The touring was a bigger thing, like that made you draw and get closer to the people. Like people still tour now, but you get to know everything about the artist. You don't have to go see them because they already live everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, R&B is almost like WNBA basketball now.
Oh, this guy.
Your shots fired at me. I still enjoy my R&B. You know?
Like he slid today. He's been waiting to find a way to slide into
today's R&B. I'm saying I ain't talking about.
Who is today's R&B? Like,
who is the best WNBA player right now?
That I don't know. Are we talking like Usher? Or are we talking?
No, Usher's not today's R&B.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Who is
like Jacquees?
He would be one of them, I guess. Even Jacquees is a little outdated now. You would have to go to like Black. Black is one. You know, you know of him. The guy I think is from Atlanta, but he spells his name differently. It's like BLAXT or something like that. But he's one of the best ones. Then there's some women. There's more women in the R&B game that's more prevalent.
Yeah.
You can name quite a few of those.
Give me R. Kelly.
Those cats that sang with Toby Nwigwe.
Oh, they got pipes.
Yeah, those two cats.
Yeah. Toby know what they're doing over there.
Yeah, they is amazing on them singing.
Yeah. You know, those guys come from the church. You could just tell.
all good R&B comes from the church, man.
Yeah. Those pipes you just don't.
You don't get it any other way.
All right, that's good. So Nelly's not crazy for saying his era of rap is the best. I'm with you.
That was a lot of like strong music, and like you said, it's just everybody was making strong music. So you had to be top notch just to even be around. Yeah,
I saw Jason's response to it was, "Do y'all really label Nelly as a rapper?"
Well, I mean, it's funny that he's the guy making the quote because he's in my book he's pretty mid. Yeah,
especially for that era. Yeah, I mean, he was a B-list artist, but he had A-list hits.
He had it. he had what they call the it factor.
And then he had, which would attach to the childhood thing, the BET Uncut. That was like was
the
Nelly.
Tip drill.
You can't. He owns that. He's the face of that.
Yeah, he was also an epic MTV Rock and Jock guy. He dominated anything they did. Yeah. I remember he roasted Nick Lachey of 98 Degrees in flag football.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Nelly was like a star though. You know what I'm saying?
Was a star.
Like it wasn't just because he made good music. Like he changed his rap style anyways from the way he used to rap, how he used to rap. But that Country Grammar album, that was a hard album. That Nellyville was hard.
I forget the award show that he did, but he did Country Grammar at an award show, and he turned that place up. Man.
That's what I'm saying.
It was legitimately a fantastic performance. And it was one of those ones where like he had a bunch of people with him. They were in the crowd walking around, shirts off, just doing their thing.
Has he done a Tiny Desk yet? I would listen to a Nelly Tiny Desk.
I would, but I don't think he's done
so.
one.
I don't think he has.
That'll be dope.
Yeah. Now, not everybody does well in those. Jesus just did one that was pretty bad. But it was like it was a mixture of things though. Like it was the wrong location, the wrong crowd. Like the crowd was just not into it at all. And then he
Wait,
had
what
one
type
of
of
them
crowd
things
do
where
they have at that tiny desk? I thought it was like literally in an office without necessarily a live crowd.
it depends.
Well,
Sometimes
it is a crowd, but we don't never get to see them. It's rare they show the crowd.
Oh, okay.
But it is a small room. Like
Yeah,
then,
it's a small
I thought it was not unlike this room
well,
here.
some people do it's different. Like some people do it in the library, some people do it in the offices.
Oh, okay,
some people
okay.
do it, you know,
Oh, I thought there was kind of like
A set
this is
place?
they kind of have
yeah,
a
that's
setup.
what it
They have a
the
setup in
look
general.
similar, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I got you.
The setup does look similar. But
because
yeah, Andy was,
Scarface's was hard.
oh, Scarface was crazy. Yeah. Scarface was good. Juvenile and Manny Fresh was good.
Yep.
Yeah, they had some good ones now. Young Thug had a really good one, and it was in a different setting.
Okay, I got you.
But his was like crazy. His was crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Thug.
Like Usher's went hard.
Yeah, Usher's on
That's all.
You know what I'm saying? Like they have like them tiny desks be going.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other artists who did a nice tiny desk. Wale's was alright.
I haven't seen Wale's, but I can see that.
I like Wale's.
I think it takes that type of music. I don't know. I haven't that crunk style that Jeezy had. Maybe it's just the wrong style for that type, because everyone else has different type of music. I know Scarface is gangster rap, but his is not the same as Jeezy. It's not the same tempo. It's not the same.
I think you.
But I feel like Jeezy should have been able to if Juvie was able to, because Juvie had some beats that made you be able to, and you can flip those beats for every. It's like it's the song choice.
Maybe Manny with him made a difference. Maybe because Manny Fresh was there and was able to like organize that.
I think in the tiny desk I've seen though, it's not purely music. There's an element of your personality that comes through in that setting.
Yeah.
Whatever your stage persona is, it's usually like bigger and grander in a way. But when you're in the tiny desk, you're literally in a tiny space, but you gotta project in that way that it's gonna be engaging.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
and
almost
not
like
everybody
a
has
humbling
that.
environment in a sense.
Yeah. You strip away a lot of the tools that a lot of people have in their live performance,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, who are you now?
He was stumbling over words and stuff, but like you say, it's probably because
Maybe he drank a little too much before the show.
We did he had just got divorced. You know,
His mind wasn't in the right
Got his
place.
mind-
Wasn't
mind
he
playing
shooting?
tricks on him.
Wasn't he shooting a shot at Nia Long around the same time?
I'm sure. Hey,
Remember we talked about it though.
Yeah,
they talked about that a little bit.
You're newly single.
Maybe
Why
too distracted.
not? Yeah.
Smashed a couple of those before the show wasn't at his best.
Is that out of bounds to go at Nia right after the Celtics coach had did that? You kind of like
He was out of bounds.
he's a
You
piece
go
of
out
shit.
of
I'm
bounds.
not. You know what's up? I mean, that's kind of what it is.
Shots are shots. You fire them. What are we doing?
I don't know. If I was Ume, I'd be like, hey man, give me a couple of months. Give me a few weeks.
Buddy,
For
you
the
played
circle.
yourself with the white women. Like, we're not worried about you.
Yeah, they might not give him a lot of love on that one.
Who could turn down some rich white coochie, man? It's got to be tough to turn down.
Really?
It has to be tough to turn down.
When they put their Klan hood on.
Well, maybe you do it with they have the clan. That's an experience.
I guess it is. The new Project 1619. Damn, Bubba.
Man. I have to try that before I leave this earth.
I don't usually bang white women, but when I do, they wear a hood.
I might even put it on my black
What was
girl. I
that?
don't know.
Really?
Just something that, yeah.
Wow.
If you get her to do it, I guess.
It ain't
Power
hard.
to you, sir.
It ain't hard.
Well, power to you.
Do you?
Bubba, man, you're a little wild guy over there.
After our guest last week, man,
She opened you up.
yeah. Let me give a quick shout out here to one of our sponsors, Royal13thebrand.com. Again, that is Royal13thebrand.com. Use promo code Bubba Pink and be fresh heading into the spring.
That's right.
Spring is among us. We got the pollen is in the air. Sneezing, snot is all in my nose in the mornings.
I think this
Spring
month
is
though we get they change the time again, so we have more
Yeah.
daylight.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have that,
I
man.
love that.
Oh,
we never should do the fallback thing anymore. We're past that.
Yo, ever since they did that, I just feel like you can't, like, you don't feel like you feel tired early.
Yeah.
It's depressing.
Like, it
It's
just
low
feels
level
wrong.
depressing, man.
Yeah.
You get to 5:30 and it's already starting to get dark, dude. It's depressing as hell.
I feel
Nah,
like
it's
days
terrible,
over.
man.
Nah, I feel like when I get out of the office and you have another 3 hours of daylight, I feel energized, man. I feel like I'm ready to give all the effort Bubba ain't.
Back in the day, you loved it because you get to stay out longer to play ball outside.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Heck yeah.
Not doing any outside basketball these days, but back in the day, man,
Yeah.
you wanted that sun to stay up for an extra hour because you had to be in the house before the street lights came on.
That's
you know what I
right.
mean? So this time of the year really helped us in that.
Outdoor basketball, bike riding, all that stuff, man.
I saw this. I actually came across this article here, man, and it interests me because I am a person who has, went on these dating apps, tried a lot of them, and
You was on POF, weren't you?
back in the day, not recent though, and POF was just a straight smashing site. That was no dating. or
What
marriage
site
site.
wasn't though?
But POF
That
was
was
extreme.
different. Like
Yeah.
I had a homeboy back in the day where he was killing it.
Yeah.
That's how I found out about it. He was like, "Hey, bro, I got to tell you. Listen, this." I was like, "Huh?"
Like POF, you couldn't hide. Like if you were on there, it was just.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're on these other ones, the women could put on a strong front of, I'm here for marriage only relationship. And you're not doing that. I told you what they'll say on the
Yeah, no,
profile.
I know. That's
Not
funny.
trying to marry me in the second month, just leave me alone. Swipe left.
If you're not, if we're not engaged by the third date, don't waste your time or mine.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Now, before I get to this article, what's interesting about that is though, I grew to understand that wording in the profile because if a guy is, and a lot of guys are only on there just to smash new chicks, and for the women, that could put you in a. If you're a woman on these dating sites, you're meeting a lot of different men because you're meeting a lot of men that are dressing up that they want to be in a relationship and marriage just to smash. And then you wake up one day and you just smash like 15 men in 2 months, and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? So I kind of understand.
You're being a good girl.
I kind of understand what, But anyway.
But when is it that guys just don't want to smash? Like what planet are we on for that?
It's not just that they want to smash. It's just that that's all they want to do.
That's literally all they want to do anywhere. Like seriously, like.
But not with the intent of they know they do not want a relationship though. Like they in there and like in the guy's mind, okay, I know I don't want a relationship. I know I don't want a marriage, but if I tell her that, she's not going to go for it. So I need to dress this up. And then my point to that is, if once you meet like 10, 15, 20 guys that are on this, that has that same mindset,
Yeah.
It's gonna.
And if you're leaving the goal unattended, that's on you.
Yeah, but then I guess she don't want to be that woman that holds the sex for what Steve Harvey said 3-4 months or whatever.
Right. This is modern
So,
times. You get out there and you meet people and you most likely bang them.
would you wait for 3-4 months?
Hell no, not me. No, not me. Not 3-4 months. No. It depends because I can wait there, but be doing something else with it.
Right.
You understand? So
For
I can
sure.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's like unrealistic. We have to be honest about what people are doing. Like, I don't think there's a ton of guys out there that have this aspiration of, I'm trying to get married.
Nothing right. Yeah.
I mean, where are those guys? Do you know any of
I
them?
don't think there's anything wrong with the marriage part. It's just
I'm not saying there's anything
what I
wrong
mean
with
is like
it.
the reason
Yeah.
why they probably feel that way is just it's perceived in a lot of men in the way that they're bringing out in a lot of situations how marriage only benefits the other party. Like the men don't get the benefit from the marriage, and there are more men talking about how they're not benefiting from the marriage. Now, I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying these are things that are being said, and because of, in a lot of cases, because it goes both ways. There's women who break up with men and they make more money and whatever, and the woman may have to pay out alimony and things. So it does happen, but it's more mainstream that the man has to pay out if the breakup happens. So they're like, in a lot of people, a lot of podcasts, a lot of people are talking about like, what's the point of doing it when you only lose in the bigger scheme of it, because you're not guaranteed to stay together. Because people don't take marriage the same way. They're not looking to stay married to stay married. They're staying married till they're unhappy. Okay, that ain't marriage. But
yeah, and another thing, we talked about this before. I think one of the main issues is all the women, damn near like 98% of them, that's their dream, that's their goal, is to get married, is to be married, have the wedding, put it on social media. That's like that's their mindset. That's what's on their mind. That's their mind frame. That's their whole goal from the beginning. But the guy, just the average guy, does not think like that.
This is like, I think guys usually think more so marriage for what the marriage is supposed to be about, and most women are groomed to like want to be married because that's what you're supposed to be. But sometimes it may feel like they don't feel like they understand how some men may not feel like they know how to be, that the women are going to treat them how they need to be treated as far as being married to, like the catering or whatever the case may be. But that just comes with, like, you got to have communication. You got to talk to each other. You got to figure out how to build your relationship to be what your relationship going to be happy with. Because most people don't know how to communicate, so it's going to be hard to get that across.
But I think you nailed something, and it kind of went to what I was saying originally. There is a much clearer narrative out there, and a real discussion among men is, what am I getting out of getting married other than inviting the law into my relationship? And a lot of people are, it's way more out there than like when I was a kid, and you saw your parents married, and that's what you're supposed to do at some point in your life, and that's what life is. But I think there's enough people, and there's an actual discussion there, like, is this really what I want to do? And it's fair to say for some people, no. But like you said, a higher percentage of women still see that as the end goal, and I think fewer men see that as their end goal.
And then that creates the impasse. And then that creates the women. Like, in every city, if you go on social media in every city, you'll see women saying, there's so much piss in the dating pool here. I know you heard that a lot of times.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with you're looking for different things than the men that you're encountering are looking for. And then there's also this new thing to where a lot of the women are just automatically say, oh, these guys are gay. You know what I mean? Like, they're not into women like they used to be. Like, maybe that's a better way to put it as well. I see that a lot.
I just saw like a viral clip kind of in that.
Yeah, it's all over.
Yeah,
the place.
but the girl was actually kind of going full circle and saying, you guys are saying that these guys are gay, but basically you are, as the women, are not presenting yourself as being desirable at all. The way you act and behave.
Yeah, I think that's overplayed. I think that's overplayed, overblown. I don't think it's about how the women are presenting themselves on social media, the twerking or the lingerie or whatever, showing that. I don't think guys don't really. If anything, that excites guys more than.
I think it do, but to a
off.
certain extent. Think about it. If you seen the girl that's on Instagram and only in underwear, always twerking in underwear, like literally you stripping on Instagram. Is that the one you really saying, you know what? I'm gonna take her out and see what's going on?
Yeah. Because, but
that is the one you want to take out.
Listen,
that ain't the first person you thinking about trying to date for real.
I ain't just trying to. My point is,
you trying to?
Not me. It is not about me specifically. My point to that is that the guy who is not looking for anything serious, right? Which is a lot of guys that they
right.
That doesn't bother them at all.
No,
yeah,
but that was the point of what she was saying though. She's like, yeah, guys want to have sex with that person and they'll take their shot with that person, but they're not looking to build a life with that person.
But here goes my thing. There's not a ton of single guys out there that are looking to build a life with somebody.
That's what we've already agreed on.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the impasse. I think that's the crutch right there. There are guys like that, but the percentage is just lower now.
Right.
In the dating scene, and it doesn't make it wrong or right. The women will feel like it's wrong, of course, but at least they know what they're looking for, and that's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
But I think what he's trying to say is that the reason why they're not, because they don't have a reason to. It's not beneficial to do that because it's only hurting you, or you feel like you're not getting anything out of it. So it's like if you had a job and you know that everybody else that work in this department get commission, but you work over here, you're not going to get no commission. you might want to go with a job that got commission.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. It's still a good job.
Yeah.
You still get paid.
Yeah. But
ain't no extra benefits.
One of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get me one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. That's a good point.
But
That's a
I
good
mean, there's a lot of good women out there who can change your mind.
Yeah.
But you just gotta take your time, and that's how you gotta date. If you don't date seriously, you're not gonna find it because you're doing too much of the playing with it.
Yeah.
So eventually, both parties gotta have a conversation and figure out, all right, so do we still want to just have fun, or what we doing?
But I guess going back to the original thing though, are the dating apps the place where you're gonna find that good woman?
Well,
or is that likelihood not very high?
Right. And the crux of the article is saying because the dating apps are fading out, they're dying as far as, and part of the reason is because more and more women are finding like this is just BS, right? So they're getting off of there.
But that's what they got. It just got all the social media, all that Facebook started because dudes wanted to talk to somebody they couldn't talk to or probably wouldn't be able to get talked to. Now they have a way to have an end. Yeah. Cool.
I was gonna go two things on this. I think a lot of the dating apps become basically overtaken by prostitutes. No, like I'm not saying that lightly. I think that there's a lot of like people on those things are not like at this point they're like, hey, if you want to fuck, here's what we're gonna do. And I think that becomes a part of it. And then I also feel, and I'm not sure on this, but like have the traditional social media platforms basically become a bigger piece than the dating apps were at one point? Because I know like Facebook has a dating feature. Is it just easier, more convenient for people to go through those channels or slide in somebody's DM on a platform than to post a profile on Hinge or Tinder or one of these other things and go through that process? I'm asking the question. I don't know the answer.
That's a good point. That is a good point. And it's possible. Okay, yeah, Facebook dating does have that, but people. All along, people have been hooking up on social media, on IG and Facebook, even while these dating apps were at the peak.
Yeah.
You know.
But what I'm saying is, like, people you went into the apps, never really found much success or what they were looking for or whatever. And again, like, you're swiping on a profile of a person that they're putting up there. If you do see through like social media, there is a bit more information. Like you could see common connections, like a little bit broader sketch of who that person is, and that could be a little bit more reliable.
People use Facebook and Instagram almost to be like a reality show. You know what I'm saying? You know everything about some people just because they post everything.
Yeah, but and then some women are ridiculous on that because they'll tell you like, you know, don't DM me, don't inbox me, blah blah blah. But at the same time, be on dating sites. That's fucking ridiculous. And there's a ton of them. That
dirty work, right?
There's a ton of them that do that. It's so idiotic. And yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, but I'm reading. I wanted to read this excerpt from here, but basically, yeah, that's basically what it's saying here. But
somebody put Instagram's the number one dating app.
Instagram number one dating app with them IG models. And then he said POF was his favorite. He smashed the lawyer chick off of there. Lawyer chick just wanted to, you know, yeah, that makes sense. You know, a lawyer chick on POF. She's too busy to uphold a whole relationship. She just wants to get in, get out.
Yeah, why not?
Because I think it's both parties. Like females be on there looking for somebody just as much as men be on there looking. So I think it's just everybody trying to find a way to get their connection somewhere.
You know what else it was great for? For out of town uses. If you was going like on a vacation for a week or for a few days, you what you're supposed to do is you go on there, POF, Hinge or whatever, change the city. I'm not saying this like I've done it before, but I'm just
He heard.
You're close to people that have.
And you change your city. And you got to do it at least a week or two or a month before.
A month, really?
It depends, you know.
That seems extreme.
If you want to make sure you get something, you want to make sure you lock something in for this week or weekend that you're going to be out there, you know. And that's how you're supposed to do it.
All right.
Yeah.
So says the expert.
That was your dating message from Bubba.
I did that in Tallahassee one time. Long.
Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Find any rattlers?
Not a rattler, but it worked though.
Okay.
Yeah, it worked.
TCC girl?
No.
Okay.
Not a college girl.
Okay.
College girl.
But that's.
No, actually, she did go to FAMU.
See?
Yeah, she was the throat goat.
You can't find a lot of people in Tallahassee that didn't go to one of those schools.
No, that's for sure. Especially in my age range at that time. Yeah. Early 20s, mid 20s. Last weekend, whatever it was. All right. I want to give a quick shout out here to Angel's Barbecue. Now, listen, Angel's Soul Food Place. This place does not need any extra promotion. All right, this is just a really great spot that's over in Sanford. The food is just outrageous. You know what I mean? The prices are fire. They have these specials and these deals that they do for your afternoon or for weekend, stuff like that. You gotta check it out. Angels Soul Food in Sanford. Sometimes they have events on the weekends. You know, they'll do like these comedy shows and stuff like that. Man, really dope place. The food, I mean, it's top 3 DOA in the city. I can't think of anything better. All right,
really?
Check it out. Oh yeah, man, it's crazy. You ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's crazy food, man. I just got the what I got last. I went Sunday. I got the fried catfish with some collard greens and some cabbage.
Fried catfish on the Lord's Day.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
Well done.
Okay.
Hey, this this is what I want to talk about before I get to the NBA. I thought this was interesting, just to talk about really quick here. This guy was explaining, he went viral on IG, and he really broke down. He said how 5 minutes changed the course of his life, and now he's basically doing life in prison, man.
Thanks.
And this is how he broke it down. He said 1 minute was the thought of being disrespected. So, they're in the club or whatever. And, 1 minute was just the thought of being disrespected. 3 minutes was the brawl in the club. That's how long it lasted. 3 minutes was the brawl in the club. And then 1 minute was outside the club was the shooting. All right. And then next thing you know, 5 minutes turned into 20-year prison bid, man. Missed his son's birth and 10 birthdays already. Missed his daughter birthdays from 6 to 15. $15,000 in legal costs, all type of stuff, man. One emotional decision that took 5 minutes to execute. All right, and already 10 years down the drain, got 10 years more to go.
That's hard.
That's crazy, man. 5 minutes.
And that's all. It could be less than that.
It could be less than that, man. And
No.
and a lot of people have been in similar situations that just went a different direction, man. But when you really think about it in that way, it's just really not that important. Now, in the heat of the moment, it's just like, you want to whatever. You want to get into that fight, or you want to do this, or you want to do that. But when you really think about it, it's just really not worth it. Even if you're not the one that's shooting, if you go in there and you get into something, you beat that person up, that person's mind might go to shooting once you get out of this club. You know what I mean?
Can't take no
They don't take no
whippings,
whoopings, man, these days, man.
Yeah.
So
They don't take no whoopings these days. I remember one night, I went into Beecham nightclub a long while back. Yeah, it was a long time ago, wasn't it?
yeah, but it was different then.
Yeah, and and when I went, as soon as I got in, I had to go use the bathroom because, of course, back in the day, you gotta, you drink and get drunk.
Pregame.
You know what I'm saying? You
Pre-gaming.
Yeah, pregame was a must.
Pre-gaming and ready to break the seal right away.
Ready to break the seal right away. So I go to the bathroom, and I open the stall, and this guy's taking his gun out. And I guess reposition, whatever, because he probably had it somewhere to where he had to get past security. You know what I'm saying? And then we just looking at each other. I'm like, and I just walk away. But I think about it like, damn, why is this man bringing a damn gun into the club? We are here for chicks. It's time for me to go. I got to burn this $20 I just spent. I can't stay in here.
Just in case.
Just in case. It ain't that serious for me. You know what I'm saying? But that's I don't know, man.
No, it's that.
Not the club, but I mean, people's crazy these days. So you got to protect yourself. But unfortunately, like going to the club, people going to the club with the same people they beefing with. Yeah. So that's the same spot everybody finna go to. So it's like, or it's like even when we used to play basketball, it's cats that got real beef with each other, but we finna play ball.
Yeah.
And hopefully they don't have to guard each other. And then it's cool.
Right.
No, it is I mean, it is what he said it is. You could be in an emotional situation, and how you decide, how you make your decision to retreat or to escalate defines your life. We said it many times in the show, and you're going back. I remember when Henry Ruggs did his, drunk driving and killed somebody. It's like you in life are going to be defined more by your decisions than your talent, and it's a real thing. And you can make decisions that put yourself in harm's way. You can make decisions that put yourself behind bars. And your ability to in real time process those decisions and make a decision that's going to be in your best interest to live free, and to move ahead with your life and the people you care about. It's a huge life skill.
Yeah, you gotta. When you're younger, you don't just do stuff a little more reckless. When you start realizing that you got consequences that's gonna happen, that you can't change these consequences, it's like you done. Is you stuck into your decision, and you gonna have to ride with that decision for the rest of your.
Yeah.
Some things ain't that serious. So if I can avoid a situation, cool. But if you can't, it is what it is. But if you can try not to put yourself in positions, just think before you act.
Yeah.
No, that's it there. I just wanted to end the show talking about some NBA here, man. Johnty, you been keeping up with the NBA at all?
A little bit. I've been trying to catch a few games when I can, man.
Yeah. I know Pink and I, we talked off air, man. This Western Conference is going to be crazy going into the playoffs. A lot of the storylines is like, can Denver, repeat and go back to the finals? But man, the thing about it is so deep. They're going about 10 deep. To where the Lakers, and Golden State, they're like around the 9th and 10th seed.
They're 9 and 10 as of today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lakers
9 and
9th, Golden State 10th.
As in the day, and good thing that they have this the play-in tournament, because without that, both of them would be out. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
Look,
That's right now.
LeBron them gonna stay in just because of the tournament the last couple of years.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're also, the way it looks right now, all 10 of those teams should be at least a few games above 500 record-wise.
Yeah,
So you have 10
I
teams
think the
winning
Lakers are
record
only
conference.
2.5 games away from being in the 6th seed if the way they play
It's tight
out.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like 6 to 10 or something like that.
Yeah,
It's really
Yeah.
tight.
real close.
I think 3 games separate the top 4, and then roughly 3 games separate like 6 to 10, basically.
Yeah,
Right.
they just beat Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be all about matchups, because some of these teams, man, like the Lakers, are just a bad matchup for OKC.
They
And-
can't do nothing with them. Boy,
It
that
just-
look bad.
Yeah, they just can't do nothing with them. Even though OKC is going to end up being a number 1 or number 2 seed, it's going to be a bad luck of the draw if they draw the Lakers in the first round. But OKC does well against Denver. They do well against Golden State. Like it's all depend on matchups, and it's just so crazy to where in the last week, if you're a team, do you do some, gymnastics of trying to avoid a team, take a loss here, loss there, sit all your guys?
The tough part of that is the play-in tournament. Because before the play-in,
You really
you have a
don't know.
better
Yeah,
idea of, okay, that's 7, that's 8, and we know what that means. But with the play-in, anything could
You
happen.
mess around and make a wrong decision. Now you playing against a team that you know you can't beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
positionally,
Indiana playing against the Bucks.
yeah, I mean, positionally where we are right now, like, the Lakers or Golden State are going to be done the first night.
Yeah.
Because they'd play each other, and loser's done. And then, even then, the winner of that game has to win another game just to get in and be the 8.
Yeah.
Do you think that who you think will win, Golden State or Lakers?
In that one
one-off game.
I want Golden State to win, but the Lakers, they're tough
They're a
for
stronger
Golden
team
State.
all the way around. Unless
it's
Clay
tough
is
to say
hitting.
that.
They're a tough matchup for Golden State and OKC, but for example, like Denver, like Lakers can't beat Denver for anything. But in that one game, like you said, it'll be a great game to watch. What they need to do is, because I'm looking at it now, seeds 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well, 7, 8, and 9 all have 34 wins, and then Golden State is only 1 game behind those 3, and Sacramento they just need to jump Sacramento, and hopefully you want to play Sacramento in that play-in game.
Yeah.
And to try to take them out. That's what needs to happen, because I want to see Golden State and the Lakers both in the playoffs. That's the reason
I don't want to see the Lakers in the playoffs.
You don't want to see them in the playoffs?
Nah.
Why?
They're just a tired, beat story at this point. I'm just sick of them.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
They made it to the Western Conference Finals last year,
and I didn't enjoy any of it.
Why you didn't?
I just don't. I literally hate watching AD play basketball.
But hold on, did you watch the last game? Because he was stepping out.
Yeah, even when he plays well, I literally don't like watching him. Like, it's just an unpleasant experience.
He's not the most enjoyable.
I'd rather watch
Especially on
farm
offense.
animals fuck.
That may be interesting.
More so than watching that bastard fall around the court.
And I guess I felt that way about like Tim Duncan. Like, I respected the game, but it's just I didn't enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I know I'm still gonna say he's a bad man, and I'm still gonna pick him.
Yeah.
I just didn't really like. Remember that year when they had won the championship? And it was like the lowest watched.
Yeah. What was it? Was it Spurs Detroit?
Yeah, I think
Spurs Detroit. Yeah, it could have been that one, or
Yeah.
Spurs Nets one year was
Spurs
pretty.
Nets,
that was
maybe.
anknow one that
Maybe
was,
Spurs
I don't
Nets.
think was
but
widely
all I know is
watched.
when they won, it was just like,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get it.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see. But and we talked to too. Like, I mean, the two teams at the top right now, OKC and Minnesota. Like, they're not teams that have been there before. They've both touched the playoffs in the last few years, but they're not teams that have really been in the war, so to speak. And it'll be interesting to see how they react. And they'll be coming in and potentially catch, a Lakers or Golden State team in round one, which would be very interesting.
Yeah, and I wouldn't pick either one of those top teams. That Minnesota, I don't know. I don't believe in
like
Minnesota
Ant-Man,
though.
though.
Huh?
I like Ant-Man.
Everybody
I
does.
love Ant-Man.
Everybody
If
does.
you don't like
he's a
Ant-Man, there's
dog.
something wrong with you.
Yeah. Everybody does. And is the truth.
Although I will say this, they came to Orlando. I got a ticket with my son to go, and Ant played like stir-fried dog shit. I think he had 8 points. He was in foul trouble all night. He probably had 4 or 5 turnovers.
That's usually mess them up when they get in foul trouble.
Oh,
they get off their sled.
He got
you don't
another,
get in the rhythm of the game, and
Yeah.
it's tough to catch it the rest of the way.
He got another step or two to enter superstardom, and I don't know.
He got the athleticism in the game
yeah.
to be there.
I don't know if he's going to reach it.
I think he will.
You think he will?
He's got the
Well,
athleticism. He has the game. He has the personality for it. People are drawn to him, and I think when he was in the playoffs before, and I know they didn't win, he showed out. He played. He was comfortable in the moment.
You know what I see for him? I don't see superstardom. What I see Donovan Mitchell, like as his ceiling.
Oh, Lord.
Not saying that whatever. I may be wrong, but what I
hope
see is
you're
Donovan Mitchell. I see Jason Tatum. I see like at his height, his ceiling.
I mean, I think
is
I hope
knocking on the superstardom door.
Do you
but
think
not
you don't think he
getting
can get at least to like D Wade status?
Got to win a title or two.
D-Wade 06.
You
I'm
gotta
just saying, do you
win-
think
you
he
gotta
can at
win
least
titles.
get to D Wade status?
I don't-
You're
'Cause,
going
like-
to have to win titles to reach that status. That's the reality.
Yeah.
That's the only thing holding Jason Tatum back. I mean, to me,
look-
Jason Tatum has been super high level for
Nah,
years.
he got more. It's more holding him back. Because
he don't be clutching them big games sometimes. Like,
Yeah, I saw something. I saw something yesterday that I didn't notice, but that's the reason why. Like, because I went in there exploring, like, why they don't have Jason Tatum, the best player on the best team. Every time that happens with a guy with the good stats, and he does, that guy is like firmly in the MVP front runner. Whether you win a championship or
I
not,
agree.
Jokic and beat all of those guys. Giannis before they won a
and
championship.
you
they
always
won
have
MVP.
the question: is it him or Brown when it comes down to it in the
He
playoffs?
he's like the third worst in clutch performance and clutch shooting percentage. He's the fourth worst on his own team.
You know who's rattled this saber forever is Matt Hicksonbaugh, who I coached with at Winter Park.
Oh yeah,
Because he was coaching in the high school scene in St. Louis after leaving Winter Park when Jason Tatum was coming through. And he said the whole time, Jason Tatum's not that guy. He's not that guy. Every year in the playoffs, he'll call me and he'll say, he's not that guy.
But I mean, he got a good game
he's
though.
good as a mother.
No, he's got a good.
But it's like it's when it counts. It's like
turn it
that's
over,
that's exactly what
something
Hicksonbaugh picked up on, like
Early.
coaching against him as a high school guy. Is that at the end of the day, he's not that guy because he won't make that play when it matters most.
when they're like a little bit up, he can extend it.
Yeah.
But when they down 10, 15 and they need to make this happen,
Yeah.
it's usually Jaylen Brown that steps up a little bit better in those scenarios.
Yeah. Definitely in that finals. Even in the game last night. I mean, when they let the Cavs come back on them, it was the same situation.
Well, they were like a 20, like 18.
20 points, I thought.
Yeah,
At one point, it was 20. Yeah.
They were up 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but at the same time,
And you missing your star player.
Cleveland was.
Yeah.
Donovan.
They had that random dude, though. Like,
Yeah, he got like
D-Wade.
22
His name
points.
D-Wade.
Yeah,
Speaking of the
that
devil.
was crazy.
22 points.
He was hitting everything. Like, it was wild. I actually never heard of that guy before.
Yeah, I have only.
I seen the name because I saw Wade, and I'm like, hold on.
They made a trade with 76ers, and I was like, well, I don't want this guy, and it was the D-Wade guy. Yeah, when we traded the minivan over there. But Boston is still such a strong team. They're probably going to make all the way through. The team is crazy. I mean, you know, you take the last loss and whatever. It's 82 games in the season, but to win it all, I don't believe. You can't really trust them. But they're a crazy team.
What they need to do.
The stats bear out to where they compared them to the 2017 Warriors team. That's how dominant they've been this season.
Yeah.
As far as point differential.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have 11-point differential.
We'll see. I mean, I didn't. You know, the reality is, I wasn't sold on Denver until they did it. You know, we may see Boston
do it. The thing is
with
Denver, though, you can see the way they play. Like that, they had what it take to win. It's just where they gonna get past that part, and it's hard. Joker's a hard guy to guard, though.
They don't have anybody in the West that can guard him, but they do have teams that fare decent against them because of other reasons. Like it won't be because of Jokic, and because like a team like OKC is 3-1 against them this year, right?
Yeah.
And what they do is because they'll just guard Jokic. Teams get so bothered by him scoring, so they'll send doubles or soft doubles, and then you just cannot do that with Jokic because he's probably the best.
You got too many other players that can score.
It's really what Golden State used to do.
Yeah.
They would not let him, but like they wouldn't go crazy with the double teams and whatever, and Jokic would get his, but they would pace the game away from him.
Yeah.
And they won the majority of those series, back in the day.
And I think Chet his length kind of bothers Jokic just a tad bit to where he's not scoring at such an efficient pace that he does.
But to me, it's also Jokic does not move fast. He plays at his own pace.
Yeah.
But collectively, OKC is a pretty fleet-footed team, and like kind of like the old younger Warriors were, and that might be part of the recipe.
They got more energy.
That might be the energy level and the pace of play might be something that makes them a bit more uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're the best team on back-to-back, and since like they said the 95-96 Bulls,
really,
like on back-to-backs. And I mean, you could say just because they're young, but I mean, there's a lot of young teams in the league, right? You know what I mean? But they're like dominant on back-to-backs, like as far as point difference and stuff like that. I thought that was interesting.
What intrigues me the most is whether, like internally, it's something they focused on, and just it's like, hey, like, and maybe the mentality, we are young, we're on the rise, like fuck it, we're gonna play whatever 17 back-to-backs over the course of the 82 games. Let's be really good at those.
But I mean, you gotta go to your strengths. Like if your team like. We played on a team in school where our coach had us run a lot. Like, we ran 2 miles before we had practice, every practice.
Oh, damn.
So we won majority of our games running teams out the gym.
Yeah.
And then we had a big gym. Like, our high school was like a college court compared to high school courts. So when people came to play us, they tired quicker because they don't run in these size courts.
Yeah.
So, we can win just by running and gunning the whole day because they can't keep up. We switch out people. We keep running and gunning. But if it's working, why not?
Yeah.
Teams just figure out their niche, and then you got to figure out what's strong about your team and then use that.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah. Because there's like I'm just big on psychology of things, and I know like there's a lot of mentality associated with like being home and away. There's a lot of mentality associated on back-to-backs. There's almost like a presumption that you're not going to have energy, that you're not going to play well in a back-to-back. You might rest a guy or two. It's like you can flip that psychological paradigm easily. And just say, we're going to attack these back-to-backs. Mm-hmm. Like, try to beat us on a back-to-back. You think we're going to be lazy? Fuck you.
Right.
Like, that, and I wonder, when the stat is as strong as you're saying, I wonder if that's something that they've actively kind of, kind of like game plan or just
adapted to it,
adapted to and made it a priority.
So if y'all had to put money on it, who would you say is going to the finals this year?
I would put money on the Celtics going to the final. I'm not a gambling man, so this is a huge stretch for me to do that. But I would say the Celtics in Denver. I would be safest putting money on.
Yeah.
I would say Denver, definitely. I'm gonna give the Lakers a puncher's chance just because of the experience, and then. It's like you want to see Boston, but just because it's like if you're not gonna do it now, when?
Never.
Because I don't think if they don't do it now, I don't think they're gonna get it unless they change that whole team.
They're gonna have.
But Boston's very good, but I also think the story is as much that the East is not. Like, Embiid's missing this big stretch of time. It's pushed the Sixers record down, and they're going to have a tougher road.
Yeah.
Milwaukee hasn't really clicked in the way that the Dame trade you might have thought in their mind. I thought
that's the
was
East
a bad
only
idea.
Milwaukee's
but that's what I'm
East
saying.
only
Like the East just isn't. The Magic is back up in four. At four.
And then Embiid probably shouldn't come back.
But you don't really feel like so. It's like Boston's like the only seasoned, not dysfunctional team, not injured team in the East.
So hold on, what do you think about New Orleans?
They're in the West, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're dangerous in the West. I was just focusing on Eastern teams.
Dangerous.
Low level dangerous. Like I'm not saying they're going to be able to get to the conference final or anything, but if fully healthy and Zion's going, they could be a tough out in a series.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean they looking nice.
Yeah, and they holding it down.
And
now.
like Indiana's another sneaky team that you never know what you going how strong they gonna be.
Again, yeah, it's matchups. It depends. Because I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Like if Milwaukee draw Indiana, that's a tough one.
That's a bad one for Milwaukee.
That's a bad matchup
for sure.
And they be stunting on them too.
Yeah, man.
They letting them know that we got you.
Yeah. Matter of fact, Lillard was like, what Damian Lillard said, because Halliburton was stunting on him, just like you said.
He hit him with the
Dame time.
Yeah.
And he was like, normally you're not supposed to do that, but we'll see him again. And I salute him right now, but in the playoffs it's gonna be something different or something like that. Dame said,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see that matchup though. I don't know how it's gonna end up.
Look, another coach will be fired because they're gonna be out first round.
We talked about that too because of Doc.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can let Doc go after it so quick. But the whole Giannis thing, I'm a 76ers fucking fanatic, but I would love to see Milwaukee and Boston in a conference final.
Yeah.
And then you got the Heat. The Heat is turning it up over the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Just by reputation, nobody's really going to be happy about playing the Heat.
He's just not going to be happy.
Look,
about
I was happy about that Rozier trade. I was like, okay, that was a good move.
That's good. They needed
because it's an upgrade over Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, definitely needed more energy there, more athleticism.
Yeah.
What is Jalen Brunson left the other day? Is he badly hurt or is he okay?
Not supposed to be, but he's out for a few.
They gonna need him,
and they're crazy ravished with injuries.
Yeah.
You got Randall out,
but he's the real. He's the straw that stirs that drink. I mean, that's what I was gonna say. If he's compromised for the rest of the season, there's no threat from the Knicks. But if he's just out for a few games or whatever, they'll be interesting. But yeah, no, the Celtics are the only team that doesn't have significant flaws in the East, and that's why I'd feel comfortable putting money on them.
Yeah.
I really don't like any other team in the East.
They're such a fucking well put together team. That guy goes from being one of the best coaches in the league to one of the best GMs in the league, and it's just like that.
But you know what translates? Intelligence.
Yeah.
And that's the hallmark of Brad Stevens.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always been just one of the brightest guys. He sees things clearly. He's creative. He processes information. You can't underestimate that.
Yeah.
Some of these guys are in positions because they've been around a long time and they're somebody's friend. And then there's people that actually have talent.
Yeah.
And Brad Stevens is one of those guys. I think the game is lost something by not having him on the bench, because I think he's one of my favorite basketball coaches of all time.
Yeah.
But not being on the bench is a bit of a thing. But I mean, to his credit, he's making the moves in the front office and understands this.
Willing and dealing.
Yeah.
So, Johnty, what can they catch you at, and you know, and preview the show again for Saturday?
So Saturday we're gonna be over at McConney. That's off International Drive. It's in the same plaza as the Kings Bowling. So over there by the Orlando Eye and everything. So this Saturday, March 9th, we're gonna be there. Doors open at 8, and we kick off around 8:30, 9 o'clock. And so to get there early, get your seats because it be packed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then your social media handles.
You can find me on Instagram at Johnty Love, JOHNTYLOVE, and the number 1, Johnty Love 1. And then on Facebook is just Johnty Love. You can find it that way as well.
Did you have a piece for us, or they got to catch it Saturday?
It don't matter. We can do something if you want to.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not gonna turn it down.
So what kind of topic should I go on?
We have a diverse crowd here. They love some of everything. You know, if you want to give them a preview of an erotic piece, that's up to you. Or what? All
right, we'll work
oldie but goldie. It's, you know,
we'll work something out for this one. Yeah, this will be cool for the lead for Saturday.
Okay.
You see, my name is Johnty Love, and she has become my backbone. And the nights that I feel I can't go home, I sleep with her. I mean, I cheat with her. To be honest with y'all, I skeet in her, and it's only because she lets me. I mean, she caresses my ego so gently, and yes, it feels good. And at times, I know that she's up to no good, but y'all just understand that I like it. I get kind of excited because she's on my mind. And I know they call me Mr. Ever Ready, but, you know, she's ready all of the time. And we go line for line, her stamina, we go grind for grind. And I dare you to meet her. Just understand that when you greet her, you better approach her with some caution. Because I'll be like, every night I got to prove my love. And I'll be damned if I let her leave here with some scrub. And if she does, they at least better be worthy of her cakes. Because we be cooking, and yeah, my baby, she can bake. Now, she done made a couple mistakes. She done even let a couple others taste, but they wasn't even good enough to have none. I'm telling y'all, my baby, she's so fun. It's like she's my number one. It's really like she reads my mind. And when I don't have the courage to get it out, y'all, it's like she's able to speak my mind. And who really doesn't like having a ride or die? My baby, she is so fly. It's like she's my next lifetime, honestly. It's like she's my Erykah Badu. And words will never be able to explain the way that words will never be able to explain the way that she can make me feel. And I know I've been real good with my touch, but the way that she can help me heal, I got to tell y'all that I love her. And that shit right there is crazy. But what's crazier than that, y'all, is that she ain't even my lady. But without further ado, I don't mind introducing y'all to my baby. Because she is my baby. And her name is Poetry. So.
Thought you were going to point to an audience member. That would have been wild.
No, that was dope. That was dope. Even and the phone ring didn't rattle you. You know what you're doing, my man.
Hey, look, man, we said we had a little bit of experience in doing this for a while, so, you know, distractions and the show must go on.
Yeah, professional. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, we'll catch them Saturday, and then we'll catch you guys next week. All right, on the bench.